So, Eric, thank you for being here. Can I ask you, how did you start running actually?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here. For having me here, I started around 7 years, more or less, but no, yeah, 7, 8 years, but without plans, without goals, without nothing, just running by feelings, looking for races, and so, and then since 5 years, four more or less, when I did my first sub 40 in 10K, I started running so hard with my intervals, my plans, and so on. Then until now, that it's my lifestyle, and I'm always have a plan and a goal to do something.
Mm-hmm. So, did you do some sports before, or you were just like, okay, I'm gonna start running now, or how did
No,
it happen?
the thing is that since I was two, I was a football player, soccer player, until my until the 17. Then but in the meantime, I played basketball, I played tennis, so I played a lot of sports. And then when I was 17, I was always a skinny boy, 55 kilograms, no nothing. And then football was not interesting me, well, like in the beginning, and I quit football to start in the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Just while lifting weights and gain a bit of weight and so on. So, and due to my coach in the gym, that he had the running group of the gym. He was just telling me, "Come with us. It will be fun. We run in groups just to have fun." And so I started with them running the first sessions. Of course, 1 year without doing any cardio. I was so bad, feeling so bad. I didn't like it. I stopped. I stopped running,
Mm-hmm.
and then I was lifting weights again. I came back to football when I gained 20 kilos, just to feel a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I was totally fit, and then 1 year with 18 years, I quit football forever. And then when I was lifting weights again, I started to mixing like CrossFit sessions with running sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And then when my body was like, well, looking for me more fit, because I could start running and keep lifting weights, my coach told me to run a 10-kilometer race. I did like 42 minutes or 43 minutes, because I was quite heavy in those times. And then since that, I love it. And then during 5 6 years, my life, it's all about running.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see your Instagram profile.
Yeah,
But you're telling me like your first 10K run was already like 42 minutes, which is like a time a
yeah.
lot of people just dream about. So what is the race or the achievement you're most proud of today?
um Even that my results, my PBs or something, in the end, the races that I run with my mom, for sure, because they are the most important for me. So we have two world records in marathons, so many half marathons, and by now the most important are all the marathons, because are the most special races for me. But of course, my first sub 40 minutes, because I was struggling for a year to run in 39 minutes at 10K. And probably when I get my PB in 10 kilometers as well, like 2 or 3 years ago, because it was a bit of unexpected, but it was in a very good place and in a very good race. So probably
Mhm.
are my mainly
Yeah.
most important races for me.
Yeah, because how did you start actually with the idea of running with your mom? It was just, I don't know, it started like a joke, or it was like, okay, let's do this, or how did it start?
So the thing is that for well, in a year or year and a half, she went to just going walking with some problems until going to the wheelchair without a limited mobility. And
Mhm.
then this period was quite hard at home because well, it was difficult. We don't know what to do, and then I was looking for something to make together, and I don't know, something good, something positive, and I found a race in the circuit of motorbikes and cars in Momelo, that there was
Mm.
a race for multiple sclerosis.
Mhm.
And then the first time, of course, I had to go by myself because I didn't know nothing about running with wheelchairs or something. And then when I lived the experience, I realized that the following year we would do it together. And it was for one day to another. I was completely sure to say to her, I say it, and then she reacts like, "Are you crazy? So you never do something like that? I'm in this position right now, and how you can do it?" But in the end, she always trusted me. So she only said, "Well, if you think it can be good, okay, let's go." And then thanks to that, so we've been running 4 or 5 years, marathons, half marathons, 10 kilometers, and everything possible.
Yeah, because isn't it super difficult to run with a wheelchair? I mean, I would think that I would always run against it. Like, how do you train for something like that?
So the most important thing is that for me, for 2 3 years more or less, I was doing so not 24 hours with my mom, but 6 7 hours a day going with her with the wheelchair to the supermarket, to the streets, at home. So in the end, for me, it was like a natural thing. So for me, it wasn't difficult to start running. In the end, it was running instead of walking. So it's when the saying that when you ride a bike, and for you it's natural to, I don't know, to do everything. So for me, it was completely the same. So then I think, of course, it was the first time because I didn't know what it was to running in uphills. I didn't know what it was to run without stopping for 10 kilometers. So just these new things. And in the end, to train, I think we have some handicaps because where in the place that we live, we don't have um, good places to go for a run, even for me by myself. So I train by myself if it was a race for me, marathon, half marathon, or whatever. And then because I know myself a lot, well, in my training sessions, test or whatever, I know the time and the pace that I can run with my mom in the distance. We do a test, of course. If it's a half marathon, we run a half marathon, and if it's a half marathon, we run a 10K just
Hmm.
to see the times, and then well, just make sure that we can do it. And the rest is going to the gym to feel strong and be strong to well, be able to run fast and farther with the
Yeah.
wheelchair. And then the other thing is just well, this not maybe lucky things, but these things of running that well, work
And
also.
do you use like a special wheelchair, or is just the same one that she was always in, or
The thing is that until right now we were using well, we started with hospital wheelchair because we didn't know about fast wheelchairs or whatever, and until 2 years more or less we were using these wheelchairs, so heavy, slower, not dynamic, so whatever. Then we started using a better wheelchair, but not a race wheelchair. So just a wheelchair with, well, at least better wheels, more dynamic, and then a bit lighter.
Mhm.
And just right now for our last race in, well, the 31st of December, we had the chance to try, well, I don't know if it's like a wheelchair, but more like I don't know how to say because well, like a cart or something. So now it's well. It's also a wheelchair because my mom is sitting, but it's not a real wheelchair when you
Yeah.
saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the first time trying something like this. And now I think that we can do better things with this device. So we
Yeah.
were like in a evolution of devices year by year. Yeah.
Okay, so like it's all super interesting because it's not something you see a lot of the times. Because you also told me that you're also running really fast. How does a regular training week look like for you? How many times a week
Wow.
do you run? Do you go with your bicycle, strength training? Like, what are the type of trainings that you do?
Well, at least it's always 1 day of intervals, hard intervals, because apart that they work, I love them. 1 day of or a long run or threshold run or heavy long run, to say it like this, always in the end of the week. Minimum between 1 or 2 strength sessions, but not, well, in my case, not so difficult and not so long. So I only do in the upper body bench press, pull ups, and some core exercises, and then is the lower body.
Mhm.
And then depending on the week, it's always minimum 5 days running, minimum, never less, and never 7 days. And
Mhm.
it's at least minimum one of no impact, that it can be cross trainer, bicycle, or swimming.
Yeah. So you train almost every day, actually.
Almost.
Yeah.
There
Wow.
always, there's always a day in the week that I feel like maybe today I should be resting, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I don't do nothing. Sometimes I just go for a swim, or I do some core or a stretch session easy, and then waiting for the next day.
Because how do you combine it? Because I as a coach, I often get I don't want to say it like an excuse, but that people don't really find the time to do all these sports. And then I'm just talking about like doing some sports like 3 or 4 times a week, but you do it like every day. Like, what's your secret to get it all done?
In the end, I think there is no secret. You just have to want it. So in the end, if you want to do something, you always find a time or your method or something. If you don't find it, probably you don't want to do that, or you don't like it that much. In my case, I always try to, well, find a way to make it in case of if I want to do double session 1 day, okay, I know that maybe in a row, one and then another, it can be quite hard. So maybe I can divide the workouts, one in the early morning, I don't know, 30 minutes more or less, that it's nothing, and then the other one in the midday or in the afternoon. Um, of course, I always know what I'm gonna do, so I can plan at least a bit, or
Mhm.
where I'm gonna go to train, or something. But sometimes, of course, if something happen, you maybe are planning to run in the midday, and you finally are running in the night, or you decide to go in the early morning when you have planned to go in the midday or in the afternoon. But if you want to do it in the end, you always find some time, even to go to bed a bit later, or wake up a bit earlier, or don't, well, avoiding to waste some time doing something in the midday to do this training session. So
Yeah, that's true. I totally agree with you. So that being said, like, what is your future goal? What is your goal for 2023?
well, in terms of sports, right?
Yeah, yeah, in terms of sports.
Mm, well, the main thing, I want to travel. So this is for me one of the most important things, and of course I want to run some important races with my mom also traveling. So this is one of, well, for me, the most important thing for this year, and I want to break all my PBs from marathon to 5K minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to plan like a 12 or 16 week plan to, well, break all the PBs in the path of the marathon. And well, maybe an adventure in the well in summer and another one in the end of the year. So I want to do some different kind of things.
Wow, it looks so promising. Thank you so much already for like sharing all this information and also your personal story. If you would have to give like one piece of advice, like something you learned or like what a tip you think is super useful, what would it be?
Well, first of all, listen your body because sometimes even I mean I love to train and do hard sessions and never stop. Sometimes you have to listen your body, take care of your body. So trying to have some rest, eating good, and having a of well maybe the most important thing good mental health. So try to avoid mental problems as much as possible, and in the end whatever you want to do just go do it, but properly and in the times that you have to do it.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much.
No, thanks to
Um,
you.
I'm curious to see if you will reach all your goals, although I'm quite sure you will. I will also drop your Instagram below for the people who want to keep following you. And yeah, good luck to everything. And thanks again for being here and telling us about your story.
Well, thank you so much, and well, everything you need, of course. I am all here. So good luck with your channel as well, and it will work so good for sure.